chasing shadows, fighting battles. I've been on my own for a while, let them say I'm doing better. I've been broken, but now I'm going. I've been on the road of I made it through. It's like I'm chasing the sun, and all my fears are on the run. Can take my freedom, now you can take my freedom. It's like I'm walking on water, and all the waves don't even bother. Live just in my kingdom, and you can take my freedom. It's like I'm chasing the sun, and all my fears are on the run. Can take my freedom, now you can take my freedom. It's like I'm walking on water, and all the waves don't even bother. Live just in my kingdom, and you can take my freedom.
Okay, it's been 1 week. It was last Friday that I broke my monitor, and since it broke, I installed a dual monitor system to the monitors, 24-inch. And while I was doing that, after I did that, I decided to go ahead and try and dial in on my microphone, and that took a good week after work. I think I have it as close as I'm going to get with what I have. It's not by no means an expensive microphone. It's a Blue Yeti. I don't know how much I paid for it. I don't even remember. It's probably $100, maybe less. I don't know. So today is just practice. I dialed in, I think, the right pixels for the YouTube replay. I was getting 780 or whatever it is, 720, not 1080. But hopefully that works out. I'm going to try working on my vocal delivery and try to keep my mouth right in front of the microphone when I'm talking, instead of talking and moving away from it, which I think is causing me to have a cutout of whatever I'm saying. So hopefully this will fix that. So what I'm gonna do today is work in FL Studio. Not sure if I'm going to work on what I was working on yesterday, which was, I think, this 2025 mass fall practice, more fall practice. I think I was pretty much done with it. It's a very short little tiny sample. So I think I'm gonna skip on this. But I'm just going to take a listen to it and see if it is still all right, because I just messed with it last night and then just kind of shut it off. So let me just listen back.
I don't come here for the lash. I don't come here for the mash. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the stash. I don't come here for the laughs. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the lash. I don't come here for the mash. It's girls and cash. It's girls and cash. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the lash. I don't come here for the mash. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the stash. I don't come here for the laughs. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the lash. I don't come here for the mash. It's girls and cash.
I think real quickly I'll just try Beam, the Beam plugin on this right here, Oriental, which is this right here. I'm just gonna try and add some little twinkle to it, little sparkle. I think the volume of it is okay as is. I'm just gonna mess with it just a little bit. If it doesn't work, then I'll just drop it. This Beam plugin is pretty new. I just bought it a couple of weeks ago. I don't know why it takes so long to load up or, you know, just get into the DAW here. Seems to take like 30 seconds or so. Still, yeah, still it's not in. Okay. So I think I just want to add like a little twinkle. Nothing. Let's try this. Particle sprays. Be this one. Not sure if that'll work, but see if it you can even hear the difference.
I don't come here for the stash. I don't come here for the laughs. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the lash. I don't come here for the mash. It's girls and cash.
Yeah, it's already pretty high up there, so
Cash. It's girls and
pretty sure that's not gonna work.
I don't come here for the mash, it's girls and cash. I don't come here for the stash. I don't come here for the laughs, it's girls and cash. I don't come here for the lash. I don't come here for the mash, it's girls and cash. It's girls and cash. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the lash. I don't come here for the mash. It's girls and cash. I don't come here for the stash. I don't come here for the.
I'll leave it like that, and then later on, if I ever work again, I'll have everything set up. Oh, save it. Okay. But I think what I'm going to work on is the other ball practice, if I can find it. Not this one. It's actually called fall practice. Let us see. Fall practice. Maybe this is the one I couldn't. Oh, there it is. Well, I don't know what it is exactly, but whatever it is, I'm just gonna tweak it. Oh, I know what this one is. This is like a more of a rock thing. That's interesting. I might try just to mess with this a bit as I'm practicing my vocal enunciation. Trying to keep my mouth close to the microphone at all times when I'm talking. It's pretty loud. So, okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'll just, I'm just going to reset the volume levels. It's the best way to kind of, what else is, let me just take what each one has, see what each one has. The guitar has what? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for volume first. So I'm just going to, if any of these have like distortion, I'm just going to take them off. Take this one off. So it's only 4 tracks. So this should be pretty easy to kind of just get into what to start with. Go to where everything is. And I think I took one out. Well, look at that. Ever? Oh no, there's 4. Okay. I didn't see this. Let's see. All right, so there is drum and there is bass. So let's start with those two. See which one needs to be louder. I'll start with the bass and take it down. Let me just start there with the bass. I'm gonna take it to 50. I've found that starting at 50 with any bass on the channel rack is, no matter what bass you're using, is gonna, I think, get a better overall level mix, because any good bass really shouldn't have to be taken all the way up to like beyond 60 dB or 60%, whatever this volume, I guess 60%, not dB, I don't think. But I learned that it's better to start with the bass and the drums, which is what everyone tells you to do. But in the course of learning things my own way, I did things kind of my own way. But I've come back to what everyone says, other people that mix, that it is better to start with the bass and the drum and then go from there in terms of mixing volume. And since I've been doing that, everything I've done sounds a lot more natural. But it takes time to get your ears accustomed to headphones, studio monitors, and just kind of understanding the difference of loudness and clarity. I think clarity is what you should be trying to get at first, rather than getting a big bassy sound or a big drum to hit, you can always raise it up somehow with, some way, EQ or whatever. Okay, so here's the bass at 50. And before I had this distortion on it. So, and I had to level way up further than that, I think. I don't know. I didn't check before I started. I was trying to get a nice big fat bass sound, but that really doesn't make any difference, this distortion. Yeah, I'm just going to take this out, delete it, and oops, my bad. I was on a different one, but okay, same thing. Yeah, it does add a lot, but I just don't want that. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to start with the natural, whatever this was, loop. And these are all loops. I just was messing around. Not sure. I think this was, well, it says fall practice, so it must have been October. Okay, so I think that's good, the volume. I'm just going to leave it there at 50, and then I'm going to bring the toms in. They should. Toms, I think, should be kind of heavy. Like, not like snares. They should have some weight to it. I'm going to leave it at 65 and leave myself some headroom to raise them up later. Because once I put an equalizer on these two, it's going to make them bigger without really raising the volume. So let me do the bass first with an EQ. I'm going to use the Pro Q4. Oops. I do. Where are you? Where is it? There you are. Okay. I'm just going to use the EQ preset for bass. And let me just try. I saw nail the bass down, so let's try that first. And when I say let's, I mean myself. It's actually pretty good. In fact, I don't think I'm gonna try any others. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's got a nice low end kind of, and also some mid and a little high. Sounds pretty good just for now. Let me leave it like that and bring in the tom. Or actually, let me just do the tom by itself, it's EQ. Same thing, Pro Q4. So I think I have drums here. Go with punch first. On these on these toms, I kind of want a deeper drum sound, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna start here. Let's see, like a kick, I guess. There is a snare in there, but it's not important. I think the actual tom sound is more important. It sounds pretty natural. I kind of like that. So let's see how they sound together. And they're kind of both at the same level here, which is nice. I like that. I can hear both. So what's the other thing we got? Actually, let me just so let's forget about the drums right now. And there's two guitars here. The first one. Okay, so this is and this is, I guess I'll start with this one first and do a level on that with the drums first. Okay, just see where it's at. Then I'm going to leave the effect off for now and just deal with the level. So first I want to put same thing, EQ, and that would be a guitar, yes. So mud removal. Let's try first this one. Mellow it a little. See what that does. Okay. It shouldn't be that hard to dial this one in. Because there's so few tracks, in this. For now, I'm going to just put it at 65. It's not too loud, it's not too low. Let me just see how this sounds. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. Yeah. For now, I'm not even going to use that. I was just messing around with this. I think at the time I think at the time I had just been messing with this plugin TrapTune, which is really nice plugin. I sometimes I just work on using plugins, kind of get used to them and understand how they work and what they do. I'm not one of those people that gets a plugin and reads all the instructions. I couldn't even tell you where the instructions for any of these plugins are. I don't. I just use them and use them however I learn to use them, instead of you know learning all the numbers and whatever. But that's the way I do pretty much all my audio creations and mixes and basic workflow. I just do things my own way. I know there's a lot of shortcuts I can use for FL Studio, but I just never took the time to learn them and use them because I was, using trying to learn other things. I didn't have time to study shortcut stuff. I was trying to learn the actual audio of it, not the technical stuff. Now I think maybe I'll have time to go back and look at the technical stuff more and practice on the technical stuff than the actual learning how to hear and put things in their place and yeah, using all the technological stuff, but I digress. Where was I? The guitar. 65. Okay, so let me what I'm going to do, take this one that I just did, take it out and do the drums with the other guitar. So instead of this, we're going to take that off, put this one, do that. See what level it's. Uh, I'm just going to throw this one in because just to see the difference. So this one's pretty low and kind of like tiny. So I want to beef it up a bit. Then we'll see which one comes out on top. Going to just use an EQ by itself. Then that is a guitar like the other one. So yeah. Because I've put dual monitor system in, I'm detaching my whatever these are. These are not plugins. This is just part of the FL Studio DAW. So, like I said, I've been doing a lot this week, and I didn't have time to figure out why when I have a lot of these open, like windows, they're windows, I guess. Okay, so why when I click on here, like usually when I click here, all these, whatever is up here will just disappear. And it'll focus on whatever one I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the EQ. And usually when I click that, so you see it came behind. Usually I can just click here and this will disappear, but it's not. The actual thing I want is disappearing. Okay, there it is again. So now I have to click this. So I want to figure out later how how to get the windows so that I can work the they can work the way they were on the last monitor setup I had up. It's a lot of saying a lot, but it's very important for workflow. Keep going fast. I have to keep slowing down and clicking on, the close button. But anyways, so guitar. Which one did I use on the other one? With this one, let me try anger. That one's actually kind of nice. Even though it's not loud, I like the way it carries. I don't know if I need this. Hmm. Mm-mm. The one's interesting. It adds a little bit to it. Doesn't go crazy. Yeah, I think I'm just going to use that. And or this has got to come up a little bit if it's not already up. Let's see. It might have to go up to like 85. Maybe bring this back down to 60. And then let's see how it goes here. Oops. Got to that, my friend. Okay, so that's a pretty decent mix there. Like I said, I only probably worked on this maybe 1 or 2 times. This is like my 3rd time. I did remix it. I did come back and remix it a little bit because I remember I had the this emphasis thing I was trying to use. But I think that's the wrong thing. This is it's the new one. There's emphasis and there's some other thing. But it's for like mastering. the master track you would use this on, I guess. I don't know, but that's pretty recent, so I'm just gonna take that off. That's the master track. So let me just double check this too. Levels. So that's -3. No, I didn't do anything. Okay, so that's okay. Let me save right now. Let me slow down. I started to start speaking in regular, everyday speak. I got to slow down. I know that I am working fast here, but I need to slow down, keep my voice at the same pace, pattern, and tone. Okay, let me slow down. What happened here? I have a decent volume mix. Let me see if I can just add something for fun or just ha-has, right? And that would make 5 tracks. So I need to go. This is how I add in new tracks. This is my way. I just go here to the last channel, add one, and I just put. I'll just call it 5. That's what it is for now. I don't know what it will be. And then I come to the channel rack, hit the plus. You know what? I'm going to do something different. I've been working with loops for the last month, I think, just for fun, for practice, because that's what I used to use a lot. Mainly, that's how I learned mixing. But in the last year, I've been using piano roll and a lot of these synthesizer plugins or standalone BSTs. I don't know how you label them. So what we have is a drum, a bass, and 2 guitars. What could we add to that? Maybe some. Let me try the Kepler X. No, something. Let me try Flex just for fun. Flex is pretty good. You can always find something good with Flex. Okay, so now it's going to call this 5 Flex. And before I even let me think this through here. Am I going to pick a sound first, or am I going to use the piano roll first and come up with the pattern? But I don't think so. I think we're going to come up with a sound that we like first. And now that I see it, I think we already have 2 guitars, but I think we need more guitar or something like it. So I see here essential guitars. Let me just see if there's like a sound. First, I have to think. Maybe I'm going to have to put. Okay. I think first I'm going to have to put in a piano roll. Something to hear first. I can do it that way. Let me just go to piano roll. Honestly, I could put it in myself. Maybe that's better. I'm just going to go with what we got here, C5. Hold on. That I might need to change the sound real quick. Okay. I'm going to go back here. And how did I get it to play? First, I think I can put it here. And take it to whatever we want. Put it here. Yeah, I think just like that. And I should just put it here. Start with, not back here. Okay, let's try this. Yeah. That other one I had in there had like some super delay on it, and okay, so I'm gonna go here, go into the piano roll, and just put something in to start. Okay, let me see here if I make this a little bigger, make it a little smaller. I think I have to go to 9. What do we hear? Okay. Either I'm going to extend this. Okay. Let's finish it to 9 first. And to do that, let me see. I'm just going to put in whatever. Basically, I'm just putting in a space marker for now. Just to get to here. Okay. I'm just going to put it in like this for now and then work with it a little bit and see what I can come up with here. Okay, this is the boring part probably. Just going to go in here and try and figure out. Before I start changing this, I'm going to go and see if I can get a different kind of sound, or yeah, just a little different sound. I'm going to remind myself to slow down and speak more clearly. And maybe I may slow down my workflow a little bit instead of just rushing through, but who knows if that'll work. I'm just going to try and get the two to work kind of evenly. My vocal, what I'm saying with what I'm doing with my mixing and whatever comes with that. So I'm just reminding myself, speak slower and clearly. Oh yeah, I have to go here, here, and back to the flex. So that's kind of like a metal chug. Let's see the quarter. See how that sounds. I don't need much. So I'm just going to go with some other things. See what we can come up with. I really don't want clicks or, I need something that is either guitar or maybe kind of like metal-ish something. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I like that. Now, there is one thing I have to check with that because it's got a lot of delay on it. If it's going to mess up. Let me just see when the delay ends. Interesting. I actually like that. That kind of it sits in there pretty good already. And I haven't even messed with the volume, but let's see what that is. So I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to take a second here and see how I'm going to place it. Let's start from the beginning. I am just going to go through the labeling, make sure everything's labeled correctly. Might be a little bit loud. I may have to go in and tone it down a little bit. But first, I'm going to put an EQ on it. I think that's going to kind of rein it in a little bit because it's kind of loud. But I like that it's over everything else. This is pretty much like I don't want to say that it's the main theme because I just put it in, but I'm saying that it's kind of like right now sounds the best of everything, but it just needs brought in a little bit. And that, this is okay. I just want to make sure I got it labeled, and then I'm going to save it. So, yes, that's what I need. I need to put an EQ on it and try and bring it in a little bit. Make it a little lower. Anyways, we'll see. So this is it's a synth. Let's try this. It says push pad into background. And we'll just change it as it's playing here. Okay, so I kind of have an idea, so I can focus more right on its entry. Let's see. No, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to save that. And then you know, later I can mess with the volume and stuff like that. But that sounds pretty good together. It adds a little bit of another layer, but it's actually quite prominent, which is funny. I wasn't expecting it to be. I was just going to add a little something. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to add a little bit to here. I'm going to use the Beam plugin again. And just see if I can add some to that guitar there. Without really doing too much to it. I'm just going to see if I can add a little. Make it just fit in just a little bit better. There it is. There's Beam. Like I said, I have to close these out manually. I'll figure that out next, maybe tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to go in and instead of just going from default and going through, instead of just going through the defaults on this, I think I want to just focus first on getting kind of a maybe some more mid tones somehow and make it just a little more perceptible with everything else because it's kind of off by itself and low. Maybe try this ambient spaces. Let's just try this. Don't know what it is. Let's see. And what are we on? We're on air guitar. Yes. Okay. That is definitely lower. I'll try it here. Not sure. That one is interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna go through this here. Try and get this one to sit right, and then I'm gonna bring this one back down. And I think that's gonna be it for tonight. And then I'm gonna do a little trick, kind of make it all sit better together before I quit. I'm just gonna listen to it a couple times without doing anything, and then I'll kind of focus in on a couple things. I'm just listening here. Try and see what I want to move around a little bit. I think the best way now is just to go through kind of piece by piece. So this lasts a long time, the delay. Air guitar. Just gonna keep that in mind. So I'm going to start with the bass and the toms again. I have a little trick for them in a couple minutes, but let me try the tom EQ again, because I don't really hear them now, barely. So let me just see if I can bring those back. Because if I think I was ever to work on this track more, I think the tom drums would be present, but not too present. So you know what? I'm gonna go with that. I think I like those a little bit better. And when I say those, I mean that sound a little bit better. I think you can raise those toms up later, add a little bit of whatever to make them feel bigger. But right now, they kind of fit into this little mix, I think. But let's see. I'm going to save it anyways. Yeah, I can hear them better now. I was not hearing them before after I messed with the other things here. The bass, I'm not really worried about. We can mess with that later. So I think this one is the last one right now. Kind of. So and that can, a lot of that can be changed here in Flex. That's why I said Flex is so good, because anything you put in here, you have these controls to do a lot of things to whatever you have. Now I'll hopefully come up with kind of get this where it should be in the mix, just using the Flex. So first, let's just play it. And then I'll go as it's going. Actually, I only need it here. Okay. Okay. I totally forgot about this one as I went through. This is actually what I started with, so now I have two conflicting things here. So let me try and see if I can make these two work. And we're okay. So I'm just going to use. Let me see first if anything can actually be changed. Ah, I see. Okay, take the pitch down, this down to auto detect, and then see what we got here. I'm not sure what to do with this. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to mute that and just go through the song with everything else. Okay, I think that first guitar I'm going to just take out and replace it with something else. No, if I'm going. Here I am, going too fast. I do not know if I am going to add another guitar or anything else there, or just stop and just leave it with a good mix and a new piece to it. Whatever this was actually the beginning of whatever idea I had, but sometimes the beginning idea doesn't work anymore, so you just get rid of it. That's what I do. I get rid of things that are not working. They don't fit anymore when they used to, but um, I'm going to just get rid of that altogether and just leave it as it is. But I'm not going to leave it as is because now that I took that out, I would have a big space here of empty space sound. So I am going to move everything. To the beginning. So now we have this. As in the royal we. So I am going to leave it like this for now. I'm not going to go in anymore. What I am doing is practicing my vocal, trying to keep myself enunciating words as I'm going through a workflow here on screen, and trying to keep my face right in front of the microphone. I'm hoping that this will replay in 1080p. In fact, before I quit, let me make sure that I get rid of this in every way. So, because I'm not going to use this anymore. So, to do that, I want to just take this down, rename it as disqualified or no longer with us. It is gone here, and that will help me remember next time that this is don't use it. And if I want to replace it, I can put it in there. Oops, with the see what I mean? I don't know why it's behind, and when I click, these don't disappear. It really wastes my time clicking on these X's. I'll have to look on. It's my fault. I have to look into it, but it's been a long week. Okay, so I'm going to reset everything here. So next time, okay, leave it like that. No matter what I put in here next time, if I put something in there, there won't be a pitch or this. Okay. Just a mental note here. It's gone. Let me take off the EQ also. I'm just going to leave it no volume. Should I rename this? Let me reset this. No, I'm not going to rename it. I'm just going to leave it like this. I'll know that I need to. That's no more. So one more time. This is what we got now. We had 4 tracks. We added a track, and we took a track away. Now we got 4 tracks again. We, as in the royal we. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said I was going to show a little trick here, which I can do now. Now that I know I'm not going to do anything else. So the little trick is the toms, definitely the bass. We have to make it a down the middle. Let me do it with the toms also for now. Okay. But then with the bass, I'm going to do a patcher. Which comes with FL Studio. And, I think when FL Studio created Patcher, it was I think it was more for the devs, the developers, or whoever makes these plugins for FL Studio, right? And it was good, but it wasn't something that really was needed for whatever FL Studio had at the time. But now it's such a great thing to have, and it does so much. And then I wish I could take the time to learn how to really, really use it to its best potential, but I don't think I'll have that time. So they have presets. I didn't know they had presets. Patcher has presets. You got compression, filter, special, X day hill, whatever that is. I have no idea. XY's labs. I guess that's. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. But there's so many presets here. And I love presets because really, once you know how things work, presets just make everything so much better. But there's so many presets here. But the one that I've learned to use, and I watched a YouTube channel. Once I wanted to focus in on how to make bass and drums stick out and be heard all the way through down to not radio speak, cell phone speakers, is to use a filter through patcher with the mid-side EQ. And I do not really even mess with these. I'm not going to let you hear how it sounds, but so I have the patcher with the preset. Now I'm going to go into the toms, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the patcher preset, and I don't feel like I'm giving any cheat codes because there's no cheating in this. It's to help each other to know better how to arrive at something easier, because in the very near future, AI is just going to do all of this, and people are just going to say, "Hey, make a song about Kentucky Fried Chicken," and it'll make that song, and it'll do all of this stuff here. but it won't be done by human. So there's going to be a point where you make music AI or you make it humanly. So I'm just giving a shout out to people that make music or whatever, however you make it, without AI. This, you still have to know how things work, and presets are not. They're not. How do you say cheating anymore? Because we have to catch up with AI now and prove that when you make something, you're human and not artificial. Anyways, long story short, did I put the mid-side IQ on this? Mid-side EQ. Did I talk too fast there? I'm not sure. Kind of doing a little riff there. So did I put this here? I was talking and not paying attention. My voice is kind of losing it. I think I'm about almost 2 hours in on this. Okay, so there's the cheat code. There's the little cheat. So now it should sound a little bit different. And before I show you how it sounds different, I'm going to take away what I added. Set. Okay. And why I say cheat code is because it's going to make the drum and bass just come out a little bit better without raising anything. No volume, no nothing. And that's after you have a good volume level already. A good bass. B-A-S-E. Not. Okay. So that's without everything, without the little cheat code. But it's not a cheat code. All you do is do this. Do that. Go in here, turn this back on. Turn this back on. Now you have a different kind of gonna do just a little quick mix here. I'm just gonna do a real quick reset volume because let me start with the bass. Need it over here. Interesting. Those, I think I'm going to go back to the toms. I'm not going to change anything else. I'm just going to change the EQ. I'm just not hearing it at all, really. Not feeling it. I think the last one I put in here is now kind of messing everything up. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it anymore. I'll figure it out later if I ever work on this again. I don't know. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But I forgot I took everything down over here. You know, I'm going to leave the toms at 65 because if I add something later, if I would add something later, I'm probably going to add more drums. So the toms are just kind of like, I don't want to push them as the main drum. I just want to leave them where they are and so that you can kind of hear them. And then later I'll add something else, I think. So for everything else, Okay, I'm gonna save it there, and I'm gonna call this live stream finished. It's a work in progress. The actual live streams themselves or their selves, I don't even know how you would say that, but I need to work on my vocal, keeping calm, keeping steady, and not getting so normal speak instead of like a good enunciation and just an overall good vocal presentation, I guess. So that's it for today. Let me just listen to this one time and see what is going on.